everyone, welcome back to day 5 of Mojo Programming for Artificial Intelligence tutorials. In this tutorial, you will learn about control statements in loops in Mojo Programming. In this tutorial, I will cover how to implement, how to use control statements such as if-else statement, if-elif statements, and also how to implement loops such as for loops, while loops in Mojo Programming. Mojo Programming supports a variety of control statements and loops, which can be used to alter the flow of execution of a program. If you're already familiar in Python's control statements and loops, so there is no additional syntaxes in Mojo Programming. It's already implemented the Python's control statements and loops in Mojo Programming as well. So if you're already familiar with this statements, so it is easy to use in Mojo Programming as well. So the control statements such as if statements, if-else statements, and if-elif statements, those are the statements that used to execute a block of code only if a given condition is true. And the loops, for example, the for loop is used to execute a block of code repeatedly for a given number of times or until a certain condition is met. The while loop also used to execute a block of code repeatedly while a given condition is true. Otherwise, it terminates the loop. So here is an example how to implement conditional statements. For example, let me implement determine the age of or your age. First, let's define a function and that is called determine age. And this function takes one parameter and that is age. And the outputs would be string type. And the input is integer and it's going to determine the given age is adult or not adult. If age is greater than or equal to, for example, 18, this is a simple Python's conditional control statement that evaluates the conditions either true or false. And if the age is greater than or equal to 18, so it returns you are adult. Else it return you are not adult. So this is a simple control statement, if-else statement that determine the ages based on the input of age. Now we call this function inside the main function in Mojo and determine the age. Let result and determine the age, and we pass an argument to the age parameter, which is an integer. We always input integer argument to this parameter because we already statically specified the age type. It always accepts integer. So for example, let me input 34 and print the result. Okay, now let me run this code. Day 5.mojo. Yeah, you are adult because age is greater than or equal to 18. And if I change this to, for example, 16, and it returns you are not adult because it is under 18. So this is a simple if-else statement in Mojo Programming, but this is also similar with Python's programming because Mojo Programming is already implemented all features of Python programming. So if you are familiar with Python's control statements such as if-else statements and if conditional statements, it is easy to use in Mojo Programming as well. The other is loops. We can also implement loops that is the same with Python's loop. So, for example, let me comment this. And let me find, for example, let's print list of numbers from 1 up to 100 list for every I in the range of, this is a simple Python loop. For example, from 2 up to 100. For example, if all even numbers, if you want to print all even numbers, you can start from 1 and you can add sorry 2, you can add 2 every to print all even numbers from 1 up to 100, and you can print I. This is a simple for loop, and it's going to print out all even numbers from 1 up to 100. So this is starting, ending, and this is stepwise. And this is a simple for loop, so whatever you can implement in Mojo without any additional syntaxes in Mojo programming. Okay, now I'm going to implement while loops to determine to find the sum of all numbers from 1 to 100. Let me define a function, for example, a pen odd and any number n, which is integer number, and the output is also integer. Now, let me define a variable sum, which is integer and initially assigned to 0, and an iterator, which is I, and this is also integer and initial value is 1. Then while I is less than or equal to n, then the iterator, the sum is incremented by 1, I, by that number, and the iterator is incremented by 2, because I wanna sum up all odd numbers from 1 up to 100, for example, 1 up to n. So I just use this, and finally it's going to return the sum. Okay, so here in this example, I have implemented a function, Mojo function, arguments, and statically declare arguments, and also define the type of the function, which is integer. So it's always a return integer type. And also I implemented variable declarations, while loop is here, and finally it's going to return the sum of the odd numbers from 1 up to n. Now here I just determine sum, for example, sum odd. Let me find, for example, 1 up to 10. Then let's print the result. Now let me run this code and see the output of this while loop. Okay. But never mutated, consider switching to late. Where? Sum was declared var. Okay. I should result. Results. This is, let me change to late. Okay, that's good, because I need to modify that if I define variables using var keyword. Oh, okay. Right now, this is the sum 1 up to 10. If you wanna, for example, find 1 up to 100, and it prints that is 2,500, and so on. So this is a simple while loop implementation in Mojo programming. a for loop implementation in Mojo programming, conditional statements or control statements in Mojo programming, and simple for loops using Mojo programming. So if you are already familiar with Python, it is easy to use conditional and loops in Mojo programming as well. I hope this tutorial was useful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Write comments below, and see you next time. Thanks for watching.